Item 1, acknowledgement of country. I'd like to acknowledge that we are here today on the land of the Wiradjuri people, who are the traditional custodians of this land. I'd also like to acknowledge the present Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people who may reside in this area. Can I get a recommendation? Move a second of that, please. Move Councillor Rawson, second Councillor Weaver. Can I get a vote on that, please? All those in favour? It's carried. Item 2, applications for leaves of absence. There's no leaves of absence, so I'll call the motion. I'll call mover. Councillor Oldham and Councillor Jones, second. Can I get a vote on that, please? All those in favour? It's carried. Declarations of interest. Can I get a mover, please? Councillor Poole.
I've got an issue.
Sorry, just we get a mover in a second first, Councillor Poole. Move Councillor Poole, seconded Councillor Weaver. All those in favour? Councillor Poole. Item 10. Will you be withdrawing from conversation, or will you be leaving the room? Will you be leaving the room? Leaving the room. Thank you. Any further? Okay, being no further, we'll move on to item 4, declarations for political donations. Councillor Oldham moved, Councillor Beattie second. Are there any declarations of political donations? Yeah, I'll call that. All those in favour? It's carried. Item 5, mayoral elections procedure 2022. There is a report with a recommendation of 4 dot points there. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Move Councillor Oldham, second Councillor Weaver. Is there any discussion on those 4 points? Okay, can I please get Council just to reaffirm if it's comfortable with the preferential ballot? Yep. Okay. Okay, I'll call that. All those in favour? Okay, it's carried. Item 6 is the election of the mayor. We've got a recommendation that the General Manager will proceed with the requirements for the election of the mayor. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Oldham, seconded Councillor Jones. And we will proceed now with the vote. Suspend returning officer.
Thank you. The first purpose is just to call from the floor for any final nominations. So are there any for the position of mayor? Are there any final nominations? Okay, a second call for any takers. I've got to do this a couple of times, so just to give you a last final opportunity for any further nominations for the positions. Okay, and third and final call, last chance. Right, okay. With that, we will now open the box here. There is only one nomination for the position of Mayor, that being for Kevin Beattie. The nomination has been correctly submitted and authorised. Councillor Beattie, are you prepared to accept the nomination? As there is only one nominee for the role of Mayor, I declare that Kevin Beattie is elected as Mayor for the ensuing term. Congratulations. Next we move to the Deputy Mayor.
Did you need to resolve that with Carrie?
We will do that. We will resolve that.
So, with that, councillors, the election has taken place for the position of Mayor. Can I please ask for a vote of item 6, the election of the Mayor, Kevin Beattie, being announced to Mayor? All those in favour? Aye. Aye. It's carried. Congratulations, Mr. Mayor. You may now take the floor.
We do the Deputy Mayor and then he takes.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
All right, councillors and staff, thank you very much for showing your faith in me. It's an honour and a privilege to lead a fine group of people and a magnificent team of staff. I think Brad earlier referred to us as the famous 9. I think I can do better than that in the old Western terms. I think we're the magnificent 9. So. Thank you once again. So I'll now go to item number 7, which is election of the Deputy Mayor. Could I please have a mover? First of all, Councillor Oldham, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Weaver. So I'll now hand over to the Returning Officer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So following the same procedure, could I do a final call to the floor for any final nominations for the Deputy Mayoral position? Second call for any final nominations? And the third and final call for any nominations from the floor for the Deputy Mayoral position. Thank you. We have 2 nominations that have been submitted for the Deputy Mayoral position. Both of those the nominations have been completed in accordance with the requirements. 2 candidates, so we'll call both names and ask for confirmation that each of those parties are prepared to accept their nominations. So firstly to Jamie Jones, prepared to accept the nomination. And the second candidate is Marlene Nash. Councillor Nash, do you accept the nomination? With 2 nominations, we then need to move to ballot. We need to firstly establish the order of the 2 names on the ballot. So I have both names here. We need let's probably do this. We'll improvise along the way. I need a staff member. Sarah, please step forward. Please shake this. I'll be turning to face the councillors so they can see. Councillor Jones will be the first on the list, and Councillor Nash second. I will now complete one of these. We will get this copied and circulated. We will ask you to vote number 1 only out of the 2 candidates. we will now make 3 copies of that, cut it up and bring it round to you each for voting. So if you could just bear with us a few moments whilst we carry out that slight piece of admin. So just to confirm for councillors, we're moving into the procedure. This is an ordinary ballot as the preferred candidates. We will go through, as I've said, we ask you to put number 1 against your preferred candidate. We will then tally those scores up, and we will make an announcement from that, assuming we have a majority. We will be following the rules and regulations that are set down via the government OLG guidelines. And so we'll get those sheets to you in a moment to ask you to record number 1 against your preferred candidate. Thank you. Councillors, having counted those votes, there is a majority, and I declare that Councillor Jamie Jones is appointed as the Deputy Mayor.
thank you, Heather, returning officer. Two worthy candidates. Congratulations, Jamie. Commiserations, Marlene. I'll now ask for council to endorse that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 8 is destruction of ballot papers. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Oldham, second by Councillor Weaver. All those in favour? Against? That is carried. Item 9, delegation to Mayor and Deputy Mayor in Mayor's absence. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Nash, seconded by Councillor Rawson. All those in favour? Against? That is carried. Oh, yes, correct. Well, I didn't see any press there, so I thought I would keep going. All right, we'll just suspend the meeting for a short time on that item in case there is any inquiries from the media in regards to our election. So we'll just have a little short break and we'll return. All right, councillors and staff, we will continue on with the meeting, and just before we proceed to item 10, I'll just read out to you standard phrase that we start the meetings with, which the fill-in chair forgot. Please be advised that the council meeting is being recorded. By speaking at the meeting, you will agree to being recorded. Please ensure that if and when you speak, you are respectful to others and use appropriate language at all times. Combined Council accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this meeting. The recording of this meeting will be made publicly available on Council's website. All right, continuing with item 10, delegates to other organisations for the term of Council. Could I have a mover, please? Oh, sorry, first, before we get that moved, Councillor Paul declared an interest in item 10 as leaving the room. Mover was Councillor Batten, seconded by Councillor Oldham. Mr.
Mayor,
yes.
Could I ask for a clarification before that goes to a vote? And that is with the...
I've got to move in a second. I've got it. Yeah, go on. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. With the positions on this, I would just like to know when there is a proposal brought to council from the Central Tablelands Water, does that warrant a conflict for the board members of the Central Tablelands Water?
No.
There's no conflict? They don't have to leave the room if a decision is taken by council?
No.
Okay, thank you. That's
No, you're part of that decision process because you're representing Combined Council on that board. So you need to be fully informed of any of the council's decision processes to take to the board. So, or any board decisions coming back this way. Okay. And you will effectively be aware of those board decisions because you sit on that board.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Councillor Rawson, just your button.
I'd like to call an amendment.
Yep.
To, would you like me to? I can read
Yep.
this out.
Yep.
That's council allow candidates to be nominated that are non-consumers of Central Tablelands Water. Council accepts. Secondly, council accept the nominations for position of delegate to Central Tablelands County Council. And thirdly, if more than 2 nominations are received, an election be held in accordance with the regulations. I call an amendment.
All right. Could I have a seconder to the amendment? Second by Councillor O'Ryan. All right. Do you wish to speak to that amendment now?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, I'd like to make the amendment because the current policy has, in the business papers, suggests that the candidates should be, or the members of that board should be consumers of that water, which is a very restrictive segment of our region and doesn't take into consideration broader water views of the entire area, entire LGA. It also is restrictive in that there may well be people on council who have experience in water regulation and water modelling in particular, who may be in a very good position to contribute in a better way to that utility. There's another problem in that, I mean, it's unlikely to occur, I guess, but it's possible that we don't have councillors who are in fact consumers. So it could fall that way at some point in the future. So to have that sort of restriction, I think would be something that's detrimental to our needs as a council. And I think we just need to make sure that we have the best possible people contributing from across the entire LGA for this particular utility.
Thank you. Yeah, all said. Does anybody wish to speak against the amendment? Nobody wish to speak against? Councillor Ryan, you wish to speak for the amendment at all? No? All right. I'll put the amendment. All those in favour? Against? Against the amendment? No? No? So it's unanimous? All right. So now the amendment is now the motion. So we now will call for nominations for members of the CTW board. We have 2, and just for the election, if we have more than 2 nominations, we'd go to an election process for that, and we would elect the first and then go to re-election for the second position if there's more than 2. With me? Follow me there? So it's not the first 2 pass the post if we have more than 2. So the election process would be we elect, the first person is elected with the most votes, then we re-elect again. All right, so I'll hand over to the returning officer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have 3 nominations that have been submitted, and as with the previous protocol, would I call if there's any last-minute nominations from the floor to be a delegate to CTW. Okay, second call for any final nominations. We have to follow the same procedure as we have basically for the previous 2 nominations. So third and final call from the floor. Okay, that being, there were 3 nominations for positions on CTW, and there are the 2 positions to fill. So I will ask each candidate nominated to confirm that they wish to accept their nomination. So, Councillor Nash, you wish to proceed with the nomination? Thank you. Councillor Rawson, you wish to proceed with your nomination? Thank you. And Councillor Weaver, you wish to proceed? We have 2 positions as delegates on this, and it needs to be done as 2 elections. So we will be using preferential voting for the first round. We will have all 3 candidates. We will follow the similar procedure I prepared earlier. We have the 3 names: Councillor Nash, Councillor Weaver, Councillor Rawson. I'll ask my able assistant Sarah to come forward once again. I'll ask my assistant to fold those, put them in, shake, do all that. We will then pull them out. This is to determine the position that the 3 names will hold on the ballot paper. We will then print those off, circulate them. You'll be asked in this first instance to number each box 1, 2 and 3, as we'll have to follow the rules for preferential voting. Once we come to a clear winner for this position, the 2 remaining nominations will form the second election, and we will repeat the process on that case. We'll see how that goes, as we now have one council member out of the room. So we will have to, again, follow the process. If it comes to a tied vote, that will end up being a selection out of a hat, or in this case, a vase. So, firstly, if we could do this, shake that, pull the name one by one. Councillor Weaver will take the first position on the paper. Second position on the paper will be councillor Nash. And therefore the third position on the ballot paper is councillor Rawson. Again, if I could ask your tolerance whilst I just do my little bit of homework and then Sarah does some copying and pasting. And again, when you get your ballot paper, could you mark 1, 2 and 3 in your order of preference? I will then be asking my good colleague, Mr. Christensen over here, to work with me through the process of the preferential allocations. Thank you. Councillors, for the first appointment as delegate to Central Tablelands, we do have a clear majority. And so the first delegate nominated and elected is Councillor Rawson. So you have that position, so we then take your name out, which means we now have to repeat and rinse with the two nominations, Councillor Weaver and Councillor Nash. So we will do the same thing. We will put those names back into that glass jar and we will vote again. This next time you need only to vote one. Able-bodied Sarah, forward again. So the order, Councillor Nash first on the next order. Yes, councillor, just, it doesn't really matter. Only the two, you really only need to put the one number. Councillors, we do have a clear majority with, let me just count one more time. Yes, Councillor Nash is the second delegate elected. Congratulations.
Councillor Paul, the election for the CTW representatives was run and won by Councillor Rawson and Councillor Nash.
Hello.
Can you put your phone on a desk somewhere? It's dropped out sound and vision's buggered.
Yeah.
Do you mind? So I can hear what's going. Who's got voted in?
Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, so I'm coming through, aren't I? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you there, Brad? Are you there, Brad? All right, Brad, just for your info, the election was run and won by Councillor Rawson and Councillor Nash. We could hear you before, but now we can't. All right, we'll try and push along. Item 11 is fixing date and time for council and other meetings. Could I firstly have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Oldham, seconded by Councillor Nash. As per the General Manager's report there, we've got the ordinary council meetings Tuesday, fourth Tuesday of the month, commencing at 2 p.m. Everybody quite all right with that still? Fine? Yep. Yep. All right, no further discussion on that? Oh, sorry?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, if I may, I don't think it necessarily needs to be worked into this report, but that council or that the staff consider holding a couple of the workshops over in Canowindra throughout the year as well.
Yep. Yeah, we'll go into that. I think that was been the GM's plans probably in their whole little couple of days away. I think a lot of that will be worked out and discussed. So young Nathan just stepped in. All right, while Brad's getting the technical advice, we'll push on. Could I have, I'll put that, all those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 12 is resolution to fill vacancies. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Weir, seconded by Councillor Nash. Pretty self-explanatory. Not any discussion on that at all? No? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 13, disclosures reporting. A mover, please. Moved by Councillor Oldham, seconded by Councillor Rawson. Pretty self-explanatory. Happy if I put that? I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 14 is the 2022 Local Government New South Wales Special Conference. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Nash, seconded by Councillor Batten. So, I'll probably call, I attend that conference, and I'll also probably call for nominations for that conference. Just bear in mind, check the dates to see you're available. 28th of February to the Wednesday, the 2nd of March. Councillor Oldham.
If and when this actually does happen with all that's going around, I would like to attend.
Yep, fine. Councillor Nash too, yeah. Any other nominations? No? All right. And just bear in mind, obviously, if we want to submit any motions to that conference as per number 2 on the recommendation, we'll have to probably do that fairly quickly, if anybody's got any. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 15 is the Australia Day 2022. Should read timetable. Move it, please. Moved by Councillor Nash, second by Councillor Jones. So if we just work from the top to bottom and just see if who is available to attend these Australia Days, to make sure that we've got representation there. So obviously you can see the first 3 of the official party, which I will be travelling around to Cumnock, Molong and Eugowra. And anybody else that wants to come along to those is most welcome, naturally, to attend any of those locations.
Can I just ask, Kevin, with both the Molong and the Cumnock one sort of starting at the same time, would the official party be going to Cumnock first?
No. See, that's what time they run their functions.
Yep.
It's in the timetable. The details is we go there for breakfast, the presentation of awards for the official party, and Molong is at 10:30.
For the citizenship? Yep.
Yeah, for 11 o'clock, and we're then over to Eugowra for afternoon tea. Canowindra is 1:30 to 3 p.m. Presentation of Australia Day Awards and the cutting of the Australia Day cake. Councillor Weaver.
I have to say, I've run that for the last 4 years. I think it's time for somebody else to have a go.
And
That's
help
what the
out
other
vigorously.
councillors have done for the last 4 years. Neither did I when I got in. Yeah. That was it.
Could I go and assist you?
I've been around the town asking committees to get involved, the Chamber of Commerce, the Sports Trust, and a couple of others, and I just end up there on my own every year. So, you know, I'm a bit of the opinion that Canowindra can't be all that interested, quite frankly. So, and I think that's very disappointing. And we've generally had really good turnouts, you know, but it just gets very disheartening that you don't get support from committees in the town. So, and it always was run years and years ago by the Beautification Committee, and then Century 3 when they were viable, and a councillor would always be involved with that. But, you know, for many years now it's just been run by Kevin Walker prior to me coming onto council. So I just, yeah, I have to say I have been a bit jaded, and I'm quite happy to work with anyone, but I'm not going to be organising it anymore.
I actually had Julie Fleedner in yesterday, I just told her what time it was. I was organising something else with her.
Yeah, I worked through Julie
Yeah.
to book the times.
So we got, so Jen, you're right to do it with definite assistance from Catherine and Andrew?
Yeah, I think it's Jenny deserves the congratulations for all the work she's done, but I think you'll probably find it's not that the community aren't interested. It's probably a vote of confidence of how well you've done over the last few years. They're going to leave you with it. But look, I had a little scribble on this the other night. I could probably be at Canowindra. I can be at Cargo, Nashdale, Yeovil. I can fill in the gaps looking at those different times of the day with whatever other councillors can't make. So, yeah, happy to be available wherever.
All right, so we've got the 3 Canowindra councillors willing to get in and look after Canowindra. Cargo? Yep. All right, no problem.
Can I ask the question of what's involved? I've not been involved in one of these before, so what is normally?
Well, it depends on what location it is, I guess, but basically you're representing council there to hand out the certificates for Australia Day, and the other awards that are on that particular day. No. Except for Canowindra.
Except for Canowindra, yeah. Cargo, they just have a cake and they have the awards already there. And you just go there and present them. You have a cup of tea and a yarn, and this year they're having it all for the kids, so it should be really fun.
Cumnock works like clockwork. I mean, they start at 8 o'clock, they give you breakfast, and it says 8 till 9:30, and it starts at 8 and finishes at 9:30. Very, very well run, and councillor who normally goes there gets the opportunity to present the awards, and if there's a Cabana White Award, for example, where, and I think there could be a game this year, I won't say which one it is, but it could be a state, Cabana White Award, but I'd expect that the mayor's probably going to do it when the official party's going to come up. Yeovil, I'm happy to go to Yeovil. Yeovil does something different, so, yeah.
Right, so we've got Cargo, Councillor Nash and Councillor Ross.
I'm happy to come along to Cargo as well, yeah.
Kidal, now we haven't got any time slots in there for Kidal, but they're normally a lunchtime thing. Yeah. I changed it. Councillor Jones is going to go there, 9 till 10. Manildra, Councillor Nash. Mullion Creek.
Well, provided it can slot in the Cargo, yeah, very happy to come out to Mullion Creek.
Mullion Creek one is at 8 o'clock in the morning, so it's sort of
I was expecting that, so, yeah. And obviously Nashdale,
and usually I go to Nashdale.
yeah, if there is one at Nashdale, then of course happy to do that too.
Heidi's just told me there is awards at Nashdale.
I can also go up to Cargo too.
All right, so we've got Mullion Creek covered and Nashdale, Councillor Rawson, naturally. Yes.
Yep, Nashdale definitely, Mullion Creek certainly, and Cargo unless others. Yeah, if there's a clash, yeah.
No problem. And Yeovil, Councillor Batten's quite happy to do Yeovil. Yep.
Can I ask a question? Are these times determined by council or by the town?
Committees.
Because I'm wondering if that's what the problem is with Canowindra.
Well, we used to be later in the afternoon, there were so many people in uproar about it.
How about first thing in the morning? Yeah, it's just, the middle, I know it's in the hall, but in the middle of the day in January, end of January. I don't know. Everyone's at the dam, aren't they, that weekend?
All right, well, as long as we've got representative, which we have at this stage, and obviously the intricate details could be sorted out a bit later into the future. All right, can I put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 16 is the policy register, media and social media protocols. Could I have a media mover, please? Moved by Councillor Nash, seconded by Councillor Batten. Any discussion on that at all? No?
Yes, we are. I would like to just make one comment. Where are we? I'm sorry, I'm just getting up again. Media and social protocols, yes. I certainly endorse the new social media suggestions, the policy. I think that's excellent. And in general, the rest of the policy is fantastic. The only issue that I have is that there's nothing overt in here which spells out what we can do. It's more about what we can't do. I'd like to be able to see some wording in there which allows councillors, or overtly says that councillors are able to speak to the media along the lines that Brad spoke about earlier on today, but that it was quite explicit what we can do. So if, for example, the journalist contacts us for comment, that we are able to speak to them and on something that is of particular interest to ourselves. And even if it's a deliberation which is coming up in council, that we can identify this is our view. We will be presenting that view on behalf of our constituents, and then we'll wait and see what happens in the council meeting. So I'm not sure that in there that there is something explicit. It's explicit in the elsewhere in the handbook, for example, handbook for councils. It is explicit, but it's not in this policy.
Well, obviously it's something that the team can look at in regards to the policy, I would suggest here.
Through you, Mr Mayor, I can add a little bit. Am I coming through okay?
Yep.
Yeah, I think what we could do is, obviously it's in draft, so we can work with what the suggestions are from Councillor Rawson. It is difficult to, like most policies are about the negative, it's saying what is verboten rather than going through all the parameters. But I think the spirit of what you're trying to establish is having more expressly pointed out, even by way of example. Perhaps we could put some examples in there or something to make it clearer what is a able for, because it's a policy and it's a procedure and it's a sort of a bit of both. So we can work on that. I think it can be still adopted as draft, and then we can work on that for and obviously it comes back to council to be adopted as a final document. We can work with Councillor Wilson on what suggestions you may have, and we can try and incorporate those in.
Happy with it?
Thank you, Brad. Yes, I'm very happy with that. And really, I wouldn't be suggesting anything other than what's the wording that's in the council's handbook anyway. Nothing different really from that, but just to make it a little bit more explicit, a little bit more overt about what we are able to do rather than what we're not able to do. That's all. Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
Any further discussion on that item? No? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 17 is the Building Better Regions Fund, round 6. Could I have a mover, please? Moved by Councillor Weaver, second by Councillor Nash. All very good, positive. We went through those master plans in the last council for the new councillors, and all great improvements for our town swimming pools. So, any discussion on that at all? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. That's about it. Our first meeting over and done with. Thank you very much for your attendance and once again your vote of confidence in me being a mayor, and I'm sure we're going to have a great term. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, staff. Thanks, Brad.